It's a pleasure. Good evening and welcome to News Hour with me, Ibrahim Sumura. Coming up in tonight's bulletin, President Bio presides over commissioning of new ECOWAS headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. Sierra Leone Police commissions a new forensic laboratory at Hastings. And Sierra Leone Labour Congress calls for further reduction in fuel pump prices. All these stories and more are lined up in this edition of the news. We start the news tonight with the presidency. President Julius Maada Bio, who is also the chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, has presided over the official commissioning of the new ECOWAS headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. The president described the landmark facility as a symbol of West Africa's shared ambition and calling on regional leaders to transform 5 decades of integration into a greater prosperity, security, and opportunity for ECOWAS citizens. He said the milestone marks a significant leap forward for the community, showcasing remarkable progress in economic integration and good governance. President Bio also described the infrastructure as a new chapter that ignites a renewed passion to bolster regional unity. The state-of-the-art ECOWAS headquarters would, for the first time, bring together the ECOWAS Commission, the Community Parliament, and the Community Court for Justice under one complex, replacing decades of operations spread across multiple locations in Abuja. The facility includes an 800-seat conference hall, more than interpretation-equipped meeting rooms, archives, and medical clinic, and parking facilities for more than 700 vehicles. The Sierra Leone Police has commissioned a new forensic laboratory at Hastings. The facility is expected to handle key aspects relating to investigations of critical crimes such as ballistics, toxicology, and digital evidence, as well as reducing the long delays that have often affected major cases. The police leadership said the lab will help investigators move from reliance on confessions to evidence-based policing that can stand up in court for swift and scientifically. Let's now join our reporter, Yusufu Mosori Suma, who witnessed the launching.
Support this tip for the commissioning of this very important structure, the forensic lab of the top office.
Speaking at the commissioning, senior officers noted that the Toku Hastings Laboratory is a major step towards modernizing criminal investigations in Sierra Leone. Through processing of evidence locally, the Sierra Leone Police aims to cut turnaround times, preserve chain of custody, and improve prosecution outcomes for offenses including homicide, murder, and drug-related crimes. Officials also emphasized training for forensic personnel and partnerships with regional and international experts to maintain international standards. Giving an account of the facilities and the work of the forensic lab, head of the forensic lab, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Stevens Joseph, said the main work of the lab is to identify, analyze, and give the exact purity of a chemical substance.
After analysis, we come here to tell us the purity of a substance or the percentage of a substance that is a particular drug that is in that analysis that we have conducted. For example, if we have analyzed cocaine, we will now come to this machine. This machine also identifies cocaine. It also gives us positivity of cocaine, and it tells us the purity of cocaine. If it is tramadol, it also gives us the purity of tramadol and the percentage of that particular tramadol. If you can see the tramadol strips, you see 225, 250, 300, but we cannot rely on that. That is why we come to the lab and do the analysis.
The director of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Andujaya Kaikai, applauded the work of the Inspector General of Police and said such development was timely. He said it is a boost to national response and represents a practical response of national security. However, borders and entry points, he said, remains a big challenge and must be protected.
The commissioning of these buildings is timely and represents a practical response to the evolving demands of our national security. It is a clear demonstration of state commitment to strengthening institutions that directly support the fight against transnational organized crime, illicit drug trafficking, and other serious criminal threats.
In his keynote address, the Inspector General of Police, William Fayaselu, spoke on his passion for the growth of the Sierra Leone Police. The Inspector General of Police said the project is a laudable one and big step forward in police force. He promised to offer whatever support to make the lab extraordinary.
Wish you well, those of you who are working in this office. I wish you all the best, and always count on me for whatever support you need in terms of building the capacity of TOCU.
The leadership of the police assured citizens that the lab will be used responsibly with strict protocols for handling sensitive evidence and protecting victims' rights and ensuring that justice is delivered without unnecessary delay. Yusuf Mosire Suma, SLBC News, Hastings, Freetown.
As the Sierra Leone military continues to develop the capacity of its officers, 45 military personnel are set to leave the country for a 2-month training program in Ghana. The training forms a major component of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces current strategic plan. Moses Conte was at the military's headquarters in Freetown and now reports.
The contingent of trainees comprises personnel of different cadres ranging from private to last corporal, sergeants and officers. The 7 weeks training in Ghana is expected to enhance the institutional capacity and professional competence of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. In his send-off remarks, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Amara Aidara Bangura, said the team was made as inclusive as possible in order to encourage personnel feel motivated about their contribution to the country and the force. He urged them to carry the nation's flag to the highest level. For the Chief of General Staff, Major General Sir Ngauja, the training will make a huge difference to the security sector, calling on them to work in synergy within the chain of command within the group. The Assistant Chief of Defense Staff, responsible for training, doctrine and education, Brigadier General Kwame Francis Kanu, praised the leadership of the military for what he called their passion to build the capacity of service members.
The movement of 45 Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces personnel to Ghana, it's the first of its kind. The reason is the soldiers as well should feel motivated and understand how much valuable their contribution towards the development of the RSLAF is. So they as well are having the opportunity. So you will realize out of the 45 that are departing tomorrow morning, it's only 4 officers. The rest of the 41 are from the ranks.
The 45 personnel comprises private officers, last corporal, staff sergeant, and 4 officers. They will be taken through different courses relating to the force. According to drilling instructor Lance Corporal Fanta Samura, the opportunity is timely.
As a female, this training is very important for me generally, because since our CDS take over the office, one of his main purpose was to inspire the female soldier, especially in terms of gender. Everything he do, he will make sure female to be part of them. So I feel great and I feel blessed.
As the saying goes, you train hard during peacetime and fight less at war. Thus, the military could only serve its purpose if they are properly trained, because it is only through training the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces will become more professional and capable to accomplish its task. Reporting from the ARSLAF Defense Headquarters in Cockrell, I am Moses Conte.
Statistics Sierra Leone has launched the 2026 Population and Housing Mark Census. The ceremony marks an important step in preparations for the national census scheduled for December this year. Let's now join Christina Kamara for more on that report.
The ceremony, which took place at the New Seller Sports Hall on Kingama Road and the YWCA in Brookfields, brought together officials of Statistics Sierra Leone, supervisors, and enumerators. The National Census Coordinator, Abdoulaye Salia Brema, said the mock census was designed to test the systems, procedures, and technologies that will be used for the main census. He said about 200 supervisors and enumerators we are selected for the exercise across 3 regions, with 26 others serving as buffers. Mr. Brema said the exercise began with a 10-day training program, followed by field activities to test census operations. He explained that data collection will be done using tablets to improve accuracy and efficiency. The National Census Coordinator added that lessons from the 2021 midterm population and housing census were used to improve the 2026 preparations, especially in the areas of inclusivity and data management. He called on the public to cooperate with census officials during the nationwide exercise in December.
Preparations are actually on course, and we have done the cartography for 8 months. We've just completed that. We've done the pilot census in December. It is a pilot census that actually informed us to conduct another mock census just to test the systems so that we can be really sure and make it very robust for the 2026 population and housing census.
The Census Implementation Coordinator, James Meadow, said the mock census was part of wider preparatory work followed the pilot census coordinated in December last year. He added that the exercise tested logistics, technologies, and field operations, including hard-to-reach areas. Mr. Meadow said participants were selected through a competitive process based on qualifications and experience. He thanked UNFP and other international partners for their support in strengthening census preparations.
Basically, what we did, we have a kind of a cascaded training, which started with training of trainers and master trainers put together to at least, first of all, give them the required knowledge that they should take them to the training of supervisors and enumerators. So that was basically what we did, teaching them the basic techniques, the basic skills that they will be using to train the supervisors and enumerators for the mock census, which is to be conducted in July.
The mock census is expected to help ensure a successful nationwide population and housing census in December 2026. The census will provide data for national planning and development. SLBC News are in Freetown. Christiana Kamari reporting.
The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, through the European Union-funded Spotlight Initiative, has presented an assessment report on the Family Support Unit service provision and capacity gaps to the Inspector General of Police, William Fayasello. The UNDP gender analyst, Kadiatu Taylor, said the assessment conducted across 9 FSU areas, including Kailon, Falaba and Moyamba districts, identify critical staffing, logistical and operational gaps affecting service delivery. UNDP General Analyst also noted that a review of the standard operating procedure is underway to address emerging forms of gender-based violence, including technology-facilitated offenses and crimes committed in border communities. The Inspector General of Police, William Fayasello, thanked UNDP for its continued support to the Sierra Leone Police. describing the Family Support Unit as one of the force's most critical departments. The IGP assured the UNDP delegation that police management will carefully consider the report, recommendations, and provide the necessary support for their implementation. Following the grand celebration of its centenary earlier this year in Freetown, the Freetown Secondary School for Girls, Ex-Pupils Association of Texas, has held a Thanksgiving service to commemorate 10 years of dedicated service to their alma mater and the community. The Thanksgiving service at the United Methodist Church in Dallas, Texas, attracted Sierra Leoneans from all walks of life, including members of several alumni associations representing different schools across Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Let's now join our correspondent, Suri Ibrahim Kamara. Well, we shall bring you that reports in our subsequent news bulletin. The Sierra Leone Labour Congress has called for further reduction in the fuel pump prices, arguing that the recent adjustment does not adequately reflect the significant decline in international crude oil prices. Speaking to SLBC Good Morning Sierra Leone program, the Deputy Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, Edward Kamara, said that the gap between international price trends and local fuel pricing continues to place financial pressure on workers, commuters, businesses, and households already struggling with the high cost of living. Here is an excerpt of his statements.
When you talk of the fuel issue, we have 3 of our affiliate members union who have been in that committee over time, the motor drivers, the bike, and the keke, and they've been discussing. But this particular one, we've noticed that government was giving deaf ears to the demand or the call for the price to be reduced, noting that there has been a reduction in the world market. We follow that from 120, 110, 90, 85, and now it's around 72. So we were expecting government to have made their own reduction, because we are in agreement that when the price goes up, we expect an upward shift. So when the price is also coming down, we were expecting the same. So out of the delay, that's the reason why we decided this time to send a letter to the Minister of Trade, who is the key in that particular sector. So
Mr. Kamara, now that government has removed two leons from petrol, and 5 leons from diesel, and you still have citizens, you still have the public saying that it's not enough, it's not commensurate to what was increased and what is happening now in the international world, especially now that the Straits of Hormuz have been opened by Iran, and the arrangement between Iran and that of the US, even though it's not stable. You wake up in the morning, you hear another story from US and that of Iran. But how often do you engage these stakeholders, especially when it has to do with the issue of bread and butter? Because the fuel is a commodity that no one lives without. You can't, because if you do not have a car, you have to use a public transport. You have to use fuel to do other things in your home. So this is a very, very, very sensitive commodity, and it has to do with the issue of bread and butter. How often do you engage them?
So to reach the decision for us to write government was out of consultation. And as you said, we are representing workers. And they are now saying this 2,000 reduction is significant. This 2,000 reduction is like they are provoking a situation. So we are waiting on them. As I tell you, we hope to meet
When have you been scheduled for a meeting with government or any other stakeholder in this?
Well, unfortunately, after we sent the letter to the minister, we didn't get any acknowledgement from him. Neither all those that we copied.
Up to this moment.
Up to this moment. Okay. And then we met yesterday. Some of the leadership we met, and we're also planning to meet. Hopefully, we'll meet, and then we'll get the mandate from our members.
So what will you do if they continue to give deaf ears to what you're requesting for?
Well, I would say here that I was online with the communication minister yesterday, and he said that we should have waited for them. It's just a 2-week window. They are planning to do a review. They are studying the situation, the uncertainty. These are all words that we had from him. I am in agreement with him with regard to uncertainty, that we are not sure whether the fuel price will increase again, whether there's a tendency.
That was the Deputy Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, Edward Kamara, calling on the government to further reduce fuel pump prices. The Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA, has begun demolishing illegal structures along the Wellington-Mashaka Highway as part of efforts to improve road safety, protect public infrastructure, ensure the free movement of vehicles, and minimize the risk of accident, especially during the rainy season. Let's now join Esther Susan Esparsi for more on that report.
On what started as a normal day, sound of heavy machines echoed through the air as dust rose from the ground along the Wellington to Mashaka Highway as bulldozers slowly pulled down illegal structures built so close to the road. Some people watched quietly while others stood outside their homes, seeing years of unsafe construction come to an end. This exercise is being carried out by the Sierra Leone Road Authority, SLRA, to improve road safety and protect the lives of road users. The authority says many people have built shops, fences, entrances, and other structures within the road's right-of-way, making the highway unsafe for motorists and pedestrians. Chief Engineer, Road Reserve Division at the SLRA, Engineer Edwin Tommy, says over the years, these illegal structures have also blocked drains and water channels, causing flooding, damaging the road, and weakening its foundation.
So that's how it causes structural defect. And for safety issues, when the road is now blocked up. Filling stations will just build illegal entrances. It's a thoroughfare. A vehicle will be on high speed and he wants to run because he has paid money for it, which makes the sense of a toll road. So it means we will give them the ability or the facility to run. But when you cut them short by constructing those illegal structures, it causes safety issues on the road. So we want to deter that. That is why you see we have come to correct some of these defaults that we are seeing now.
The Deputy Director General of the Sierra Leone Road Authority, Engineer Van de French, said it was not the first time the authority has removed illegal structures, adding that people continue to rebuild in the same places. He stressed that the authority will continue to enforce the law to ensure order and safety on the country's roads.
To make sure we don't do the things that we are not supposed to do as far as the general public is concerned, because at the end of the day, this is something that is going to serve everybody. So there are certain things that are happening along these corridors that are not supposed to happen, that create problems. Then at the end of the day, we will not enjoy the infrastructure for as long as it's supposed to last. And this is a problem for us as a road management agency. So I just want to appeal to everybody to understand that to desist from interfering with the right of way.
The Sierra Leone Road Authority is now calling on residents along the Wellington to Mashaka Highway and across the country to stop constructing illegal structures within road reserves. The authority believes that protecting roads, keeping drains clear, and respecting the right of way would help reduce road accidents, prevent flooding, and save lives. For SLBC News, Esther Suzanette Bassi reporting.
Well, we shall now bring you the story that has to do with the Freetown Secondary School for Girls Ex-Pupils Association of Texas. During the Thanksgiving service to commemorate 10 years of dedicated service to the community and their alma mater. Let's now join Suri Ibrahim Kamara for that report.
The program featured special intercessory prayers for Sierra Leone, the United States, Freetown Secondary School for Girls, and organizations that have supported the association throughout the years. This year's theme, A Decade of Impacts, a feature of greater works, was expounded by Bishop J. Allen Coley, who delivered the sermon, commending the alumni for their unwavering commitment to supporting their alma mater. He encouraged members to remain steadfast in their mission, noting that no obstacle could prevent God's purpose for being fulfilled. He also praised the school's century-long legacy of producing women who continue to demonstrate excellence, resilience, and dedication to progress. In her address, the president of the Freetown Secondary School for Girls, FSSG, Ex-Pupils Association of Texas, Zainab Kuruma, highlighted the organization's achievements and contributions since its establishment in 2016. She outlined the numerous projects undertaken in support of the school and the wider communities in both Sierra Leone and the United States.
We have contributed toward classroom furniture, school renovations, drainage improvements, pavement projects, library enhancement, teacher support programs, student sponsorship, staff appreciation, health fairs, and numerous centenary activities.
Madam Kuruma, a family nurse practitioner, added that the association's vision extends beyond financial support. It also seeks to build a strong pipeline of future alumni leaders while ensuring sustainable support for the school in various capacities. During the Thanksgiving service, President Kuruma and other executive members presented certificates of recognition to donor partners and businesses that have provided professional services to the association over the years. Adding color and excitement to the celebration, a ceremonial school band featuring members of the Old Edwardians Alumni Association led a parade around the church as FSSG Old Girls proudly displayed their school's distinctive colors. Suri Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
You are watching news coming to you live from Mr. Lone Broadcasting Incorporation from our broadcasting house here at Newmanville in Freetown. Access to affordable credit facility remains a huge challenge for many people. This is particularly so for women in the rural communities. Where there is access to loan facility, some women frequently find it difficult to repay the loan because of high interest rates. In Cambia and Potloko districts, Sierra Leone, alongside 8 partners, including Trachea, has moved to address the problem with the launch of a Shero Cooperative Credit Union. Shero, which stands for Sustainable Heritage for Empowered Ownership, is a community-based financial cooperative owned and managed by its members, tagged as People Helping People. Suri Ibrahim again.
1, 2, 3, come on.
Established in 2025, the Shero Cooperative Credit Union is already boasting of 134 members in Cambia and Potloko districts. The initiative is also made up of 44 village savings and loan associations, VSLAs. The union also has as its most prominent member the Honorable Aminata Sise, Member of Parliament for Potloko districts, who has contributed 50,000 new loans. Coming under the Power Projects, Shero is a community-based financial cooperative owned and managed by its members and operates on the principle of people helping people. The initiative is aimed at improving household savings and livelihoods, boost small businesses and financial inclusion, thereby reducing financial vulnerabilities in rural communities. Zainab Tawali and Mabinti Kabia, both from Rosar village, shared stories about the impact of the initiative on their households and personal income.
Cheryl has taken us out of the bush. We can now stand side by side with our husbands in the village. Rosar has constructed its first school and community center. We are also into agriculture, working alongside our men.
We say thank you to these organizations for they have made the women realize their status in their communities. Now I'm a proud member of my household because of the income I bring and contributions I make to the home. Recently, I was able to save over 1,000 leones in my village saving box.
Cheryl was praised by local stakeholders from the deputy mayor of Potloko City to the deputy chief administrator of Potloko District Council. They lauded the initiative as a platform to empower women and overall development of the districts. They pledged their support to the initiative. The country director of Send Sierra Leone, Joseph Ayanga, said the initiative is meant to be with and owned by the people, one that will be able to withstand political and funding changes and help ordinary women build ordinary futures.
Cheryl Cooperative is more than a financial institution. It is a community built on responsibility, that we take responsibility in helping the less privileged, the farthest behind, those members of our society who are not able to help themselves. Cheryl is a movement of community and self-ownership, meaning when things are going wrong in the cooperative, we should not sit down. We should go and tell the management that this belongs to us, and we will not allow you to spoil it for us.
Access to affordable credit facility remains a huge challenge for many people. This is particularly so for women in rural communities. Where there is access to loan facilities, some women frequently find it difficult to repay the loan because of high interest rates. Soy Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
Chief Minister has called on African countries to use technology and education to drive inclusive development, emphasizing that technology must promote equity rather than deepen inequality. Dr. David Senge made the call while delivering the keynote address at the inaugural 2026 Yaden Prize Africa Conference in Dakar, Senegal, on the theme Unleashing Africa's Potential, the Role of Education in a New Era of Technology. Highlighting Sierra Leone's education reforms, he said the Free Quality School Education Program has enrolled over 2.5 million children, distributed more than 3 million textbooks, and recruited and trained over 20,000 teachers. President Julius Maada Bio has declared 2026 the year of action during a presidential town hall held in Makeni. He used the platform to respond to questions and concerns from citizens on his administration's development programs ranging from feed salon to energy. The head of state also handed over the NACSA checks to women and youth groups and officially launched the Transforming Sierra Leone magazine. Let's now join our senior State House correspondent, Margaret Senge.
It was his maiden town hall meeting in Makeni Town since he got elected in 2018. President Julius Maada Bio once again exhibited his leadership quality by going down to the grassroots to get feedback from them on his development agenda programs over the last 8 years. The presidential town hall meeting attracted citizens of all walks of life who posed recorded questions to him on education, youth empowerment, synthetic drugs abuse, security, economy, inclusivity, and national unity. The president answered each question with facts and data. President Bio declared 2026 as the year of action. He spoke on difficulties and successes of his 8 years as president, noting that everything he has done was to prepare Sierra Leone for the future. He said he wants to be remembered as one that cracked the potential for national development.
I want to be remembered as the one we cracked that potential for unlock the potential we really need as a people. When we talk about Northwest, when we talk about Zimbabwe, when we talk about Sisulu, we say that they try to do plenty and cover plenty things there. Now because as a people, we potential, we don't reach it as a nation. And I'm happy when we talk about the fact that we divide ourselves along Northwest and West and the South, East and West. The day when we use the social capital what we get as the people and act as Sierra Leoneans, the synergy way they flow will make everybody go respect you.
Saidu Kamara from Ataya Base in Makeni was the first person whose question was played for the president. He asked if the constitutional review is national development or a strategy for the president to extend his term in office. President Bio replied that reviewing the constitution has been in progress for nearly 30 years, since the era of late President Kaba. He said it was time to put an end to it for national development and for the future of Sierra Leone, as many institutions, locally and internationally, had called for it reviewed. He said he had no intentions to extend his term.
Me, I don't change it because I want to extend this thing. I don't tell them about mistake. We don't come here before, I don't go home, I don't come back. So, I'm very transparent as to what they do in this country. What we don't say is that from time to time, this constitution, for make it be relevant, we need for the change from time to time. As a people, I don't want to know as people that we don't know what they for do. 30 years for change one document. That they speak say, we're not certain as to where we go. And that process, we don't say, I don't time it, just say, we the end of this time there.
President Bio described the free quality education as the biggest project of his government, removing the burden of school fees from parents.
Education, of course, we all know the importance of it, so I'm not going to talk about that today. And because we know say there's more money when people they require for start school and for finish school, most parents they don't able, then we government, as tough and as expensive as it is, we don't take on that burden pre-primary, primary, and to the end of senior secondary education. And for we women, the young lady they wait to STEM courses, we don't extend that till the end of university.
When asked about the ending of synthetic drugs in Sierra Leone, President Bio said his government's efforts are ongoing, but could not cover everywhere at once. He called for citizens' collaboration to expose those who traffic drugs.
Government no get young outside to see. The policeman that we are getting, they know the outside to see. The drug enforcement officers they will get, they know we will the outside to see. But I want to assure you, say, yes, the ordinary community, we know that they sell drug, we know that they bring drug, we know the side they put today, we know side they stay, everything. So the appeal where they appeal to now, not for just say government. Yes, to provide the leadership for our one for the sake of the generation with ahead of the young people. Make we not let drug abuse.
He also highlighted benefits of his ECOWAS chairmanship to Sierra Leone and underscored government's achievements in jobs, education and industry provided for Sierra Leoneans.
We now, original founding members of ECOWAS, we don't want to lead ECOWAS. We the shame, we the afraid. Then they say, no, we don't want to cross water. Here at they say, that I say water cross for ECOWAS meetings in Sweden. When I say for meeting inside Salon. That humidity we don't keep in shelter. Now at the break and I don't crack and we need for continue for breaker. For men we be respected. If I will say I'm from Sierra Leone, they are proud to produce your passport. You know the free. Now that make on the 19th, all the heads of state now West Africa, Godin and Salon for no sorry.
Meanwhile, on behalf of NACSA, President Bio handed over symbolic check to 3 groups, including over 38,000 to women's group, about 34,000 to the young generation, and almost 6,000 to Adama Kamara, among others. The Minister of Information, Chernoba, explained the essence of the town hall meeting and its impact on national developments.
He wants to show that he cares for the entirety of the country. He believes in what he has done, the record of his accomplishment, not just for Makeni, for everybody around this country. And he believes that Salon Big Pass will, that we have one country, and that we can bring the people of this country under one umbrella. So I think just by the selection of Makeni, His Excellency is signaling that this country is not about our political party differences. We know Makeni is not our stronghold. We understand that. But we know the people of Makeni are Sierra Leoneans. We know President Bio is their president. We know he has delivered. And that's why we believe it's also a very important district, one of the most important ones in the country. That's why we're here. That's why we're hosting this event.
Indigents of Makeni expressed joy for the opportunity to have the president to physically interact with them in their city.
I feel very good. This is the first time this is why they are attending town hall meeting. I really feel good.
For me, it's a great opportunity because this is the first time I'm attending any town hall, presidential town hall meeting. So I'm looking forward to have my questions being answered, even the questions I have in mind that I cannot explain or ask the president himself. But I'm looking forward that citizens bring forth these questions and I will have answers to them.
Yes, this is the first time for attendance, and we are very much happy when this kind of thing happens because we don't need any water. We don't need to do various districts and other filter and other areas. So today we come Makeni, way for Kanduaya, we are very much happy. The people of Bombali welcome the idea day, and the huge number of people turn out for welcome and can attend the program and see what you can tell you, what you don't do for the past 3 years of governance, and we say go ask questions, what you not do it, or what you go on, or what you not go on. We will go interaction session when you can do it.
The town hall meeting addressed inclusivity, security, census, constitutional review, and unity among regions, with citizens including Fatmata Kuroma asking about rising price and Alfred Mansare on peace between the two regions. In another development, the president also officially launched the clock tower built by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kaba, and launched a magazine titled Transforming Sierra Leone, produced by the Ministry of Information. For SLBC News, Margaret Senga reporting.
Well, now let's take some stories that are making headline around the world.
Hello, my name is Frances Bernard with the international news. In the international scene, Russian forces launched a major drone and missile attack on Kyiv overnight, killing 20 people in what the city's mayor has described as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital. Although previous attacks have killed more people, this latest barrage deployed the largest number of weapons on the capital and hit locations over a very wide area of Kyiv. Several neighborhoods were evacuated as strikes rocked buildings throughout the city, hours after Ukrainian President Zelensky warned Russia was preparing an attack. Ukraine accused Moscow of targeting civilian areas and said it would be wrong to equate the actions of the aggressor and a country defending itself. Days after Sudan declared a cholera outbreak in West Kordofan state, the World Health Organization said that at least 120 people have died from the infection. It added that another 1,102 suspected cases have been reported since May in isolated war zones across the country. Cholera is endemic to the country, but WHO says it now faces near continuous outbreaks due to the conflict, constraints in access for response teams, and limited supplies. The World Health Organization says its operations are further hampered due to a shortage of funding, having received only a third the money it needs this year. Residents of an Ethiopian town have been forced to kill hundreds of their own dogs after 3 children died from rabies. Community groups in the town of Hosanna told residents they would be fined and arrested if they did not kill their dogs. The community groups issued the orders after children aged 6, 8, and 14 died from dog bites and 80 other people were hospitalized. Rabies is a serious disease which humans usually catch from the bite or scratch of an infected animal, such as dog. It is almost always fatal once symptoms appear in humans, but treatment administered before this point can be successful. Dogs across the world are usually put down if they are known to have rabies. And finally, in the international news, widespread flooding has killed at least 59 people in Ivory Coast since the particularly heavy rain season began in mid-May, a government spokesperson said. Each year, the rainy season from late May to late July brings landslides and flooding that kill dozens, especially in poorer neighborhoods in the country of 30 million people. Flooding is a recurring problem in Abidjan, the economic capital and home to more than 6 million people. Rapid urban growth has led to widespread informal housing in flood-prone areas. For several years, the government has been carrying out sometimes harsh eviction and demolition operations, saying it is targeting precarious neighborhoods in flood-prone zones. Well, that's all in the international news. My name is Frances Bernard.
Well, now for all the latest sports dates in local and international, let's now join our sports desk.
It's the sporting updates that keeps you in the know, and thank you so much for your time. My name is Abdul Kabir, and in today's edition, we begin with powerlifting. Now, the newly elected president of the Sierra Leone Powerlifting Association, Abdulrahman Sise, has vowed to develop the sport by encouraging women to participate and also create programs for coaches to have modern day skills in terms of developing the emerging stars. Here is the update. Powerlifting has been an incredible sport around the world, and Sierra Leone is no exception, with men and women trying to gain fitness, among many other things. The newly elected president of the Sierra Leone Powerlifting Association, Abdulrahman Sise, has unveiled an ambitious plan which is aimed at revitalizing powerlifting across the country. Speaking to SLBC, President Cissé disclosed that his ambition and his administration's immediate priorities include reintroducing specialized coaching programs and increasing female participation in the sport.
For free, say we not get a certified coach and ref in a salon. So all the activities that we be done to get in terms of powerlifting, they are not in line with the international best practice. So now issue we our address so that we will get qualified coach them, we go train the powerlifters then, we they will get the annual gymming competition because that's going to be mandatory. They forget annual gymming competition. We they get for the invite the executive, we get for the go oversee. Now from there we will tap the one that we get for participate into the national championship and regional competition that we will get forget. That is very key. I want to achieve within the next 1 year, we will get courses for them.
He also added that building a sustainable future for powerlifting begins with strengthening its foundation through the development of qualified coaches and creating more opportunities for women to excel in the sport.
Encourage the youth and the women then participation into this sport, because if you look the female participation is down, so we get for encourage them, and this nice sport we've health-wise good for the body, and we competition days. So I call on the women may they hit the gym, and especially in terms of powerlifting, we get the 3 categories of deadlifts, squats and bench press. We know that they use for categorize you. We go for international competition. So those are the things we want to do. If we don't achieve all that day, we will see now how we go move on now from salon, from national level, we will participate international. And maybe we will think forget a Manuel powerlifting competition, because Liberia they do very well in terms of powerlifting. So after we don't structure we own a salon by having all those courses, having gym competition, national competition, regional competition, we will say we'll make we test the waters by inviting the Liberia team. We'll get a bigger one, and we will compete with them. And I'm pretty sure by then the stadium will done now. We find one way we will make good use of.
He added that they focused on the fundamentals by empowering coaches with the knowledge and skills they need, while opening doors for female athletes to pursue and achieve their aspirations in powerlifting. His roadmap seeks to address the structural challenges that have slowed the growth of powerlifting in Sierra Leone over the years. He also recognized the untapped potential of women's powerlifting, and the SLPA also intends to launch grassroots initiatives and establish inclusive training environment designed to attract and retain more female athletes. With a renewed focus on capacity building, inclusivity, and athlete development, the new Sierra Leone Powerlifting Association executive hopes to usher in a new era of growth and success for powerlifting in Sierra Leone. Now, as a way to mark the occasion of the World Sports Journalist Day, we'll pay a special tribute to the head of sports desk here at the SLBC, Frances Bernard Pundo, whose dedication to the team has been second to none. She is quite a delight to watch, and equally, she has been so supportive to the team. Happy World Sports Journalist Day. Now, in the FIFA 2026 Football Men's World Cup, well, disappointing one for the Teranga Lions of Senegal. Well, they were eliminated after a late meltdown against Belgium. Well, it was truly a disappointing affairs for the Teranga Lions of Senegal. And for the Three Lions of England, Harry Kane left it late to dismantle the hopes of DR Congo in the 2026 football showpiece. And that ends your update, and thank you so much for watching. Till I see you again, goodbye and enjoy the rest of your
That was Abdul Kabir with the latest update in local and international sports. Well, now to end the news, the main point again. President Julius Maada Bio is also chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, has presided over the official commissioning of the new ECOWAS headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. Sierra Leone Police has commissioned a new forensic laboratory at Hastings. The facility is expected to handle key aspects relating to investigation of critical crimes, as well as reducing the long delays that have often affected major cases. And Sierra Leone Labour Congress has called on the government for further reduction in the fuel pump prices, arguing that the current adjustment does not adequately reflect the significant decline in the international crude oil prices, and as well does not in any way reduce burden on workers and citizens as a whole. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of News Hour, which came to you live from the Salem Broadcasting Corporation from Broadcasting House here at Newmanville. News Hour continues tomorrow at 8 a.m. Continue to be a public broadcaster, the SLBC. If not, why not? Have a night rest and good night. Have been a news anchor, Ibrahim Samara. Goodbye.